Nearly $300 million in crypto valuations just vanished. And not because of a blockchain hack or like protocol failure, just international
Yeah,
geopolitics.
it's wild. Just wiped out.
Exactly. So welcome to your custom deep dive. Today our mission is unpacking the Vantage Plus Weekly Crypto Outlook. This was published for Monday, March 24th, 2026. And we really need to talk about how global tensions are directly overriding token fundamentals.
Right, because right now, the technical charts for everything from Bitcoin down to the smallest altcoins, they are completely at the mercy of macro weather patterns.
So let's start with that weather, because the catalyst here is pretty heavy. We are looking at major geopolitical tension.
Mm-hmm.
The report explicitly outlines that President Trump has set a 48-hour deadline for Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. And if that deadline isn't met, potential U.S. strikes on Iran's power plants are on the table.
Yeah, that is the core of it.
And obviously, we're just conveying the facts of the report here, no political angles. But I'm looking at this and thinking, if the tension is a military standoff in the Middle East, why is my crypto portfolio bleeding out? Like, walk me through that chain reaction.
Well, think about what moves through the Strait of Hormuz, you
Yeah.
know? It's a massive global shipping and energy corridor, so a conflict there immediately threatens the global oil supply.
Which means gas and energy prices shoot up.
Exactly. It raises immediate fears of higher energy prices across the board. And when energy costs go up, literally everything costs more. So to curb that potential inflation, central banks are forced to stand their ground.
Right. They leave interest rates unchanged at higher levels.
Spot on. They can't lower rates if inflation might spike again.
Okay, so think of high interest rates like this, a massive vacuum cleaner. When safe havens like the US dollar or government bonds start paying out these high risk-free returns because of those rates.
It literally sucks the liquidity right out of the crypto market.
Yes, back into traditional bank vaults.
A yield vacuum is honestly the perfect way to visualize it. I mean, traders are looking at a volatile, non-yielding asset like crypto, and they're deciding to just take the guaranteed payout instead.
The risk sentiment just completely evaporates.
Yeah, it does.
So if Bitcoin is the anchor struggling to hold against that vacuum, how is it actually faring? Because it's hovering just under $68,800 right now.
Well, despite all that evaporating risk sentiment, Bitcoin is actually holding on to a crucial support zone right at $65,000.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that is the definitive line in the sand for traders right now. If that floor holds and the US dollar happens to weaken, which would effectively turn down the power on that vacuum.
And then we could see buyers rush back in.
Exactly. We could easily see a push toward the $80,000 mark.
Okay, but how is the rest of the ecosystem handling the storm? Because if you look at Ethereum, it had this solid 3-week positive trend, but the momentum completely stalled over the weekend.
Right. It's sitting around $2,088 right now.
Yeah, so what's the play there?
Ethereum is in a really precarious spot. For you listening, the key technical behavior to watch is its rising trend line, which is currently sitting around $1,955.
So it absolutely has to stay above that.
It has to, just to maintain any illusion of momentum. Right now, buyers are completely exhausted. They're just sitting on the sidelines.
Waiting for what exactly?
Basically waiting to see a break above the $2,400 resistance level. Until that happens, they just don't feel confident enough to step back in.
Makes sense. Now, if the heavyweights are barely clinging to their critical support floors, the smaller altcoins must be flashing even stronger negative signals, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're taking a beating.
Look at XRP. It's hovering just around $1.40 after failing a major test earlier this month. And the Vantage Plus report flags the 1.32 level.
Right, the 1.3250 mark, to be precise.
Gotcha. So if it drops below that, what is the actual mechanism pulling it down? Is it just free fall?
Well, breaking that 1.3250 mark triggers all these automated and psychological sell-offs. It basically indicates fresh selling pressure.
Which drags it down further.
Yeah, it would likely pull XRP down to test its 50-day moving average, which is way down around $1.09 right now.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. The 50-day moving average gets thrown around a lot. We're essentially talking about its recent historical baseline, right?
Essentially, yes. It's literally just the average price over the last 50 days.
Okay.
And if the current price drops below that baseline, it signals to the broader market that the short-term upward trend is officially broken. Plus, for XRP specifically, historical seasonal data shows buyers typically don't return until the summer.
Oh, wow. So that just backs up the negative sentiment even more.
Exactly. It's a tough spot.
Which brings us to Solana, sitting right around $87. And it's facing the exact same grim setup, testing its own 50-day moving average zone.
Yeah, and for Solana to show any real signs of life or upward momentum, it desperately needs to break $95.
But based on the charts, that's not looking great.
No, looking at the exhaustion across the board, a drop below $85 is looking much, much more probable.
So the overarching theme for you to take away from this week's Vantage Plus outlook is really that bearish sentiment is fundamentally in control. Traders are just stepping away.
Yeah, macroeconomic fears, driven by this international conflict and a strong dollar, they're just forcing every single major token to test its absolute technical limits.
The charts are just a reflection of global fear right now,
100%.
which leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. If crypto is reacting to geopolitical tension and interest rates the exact same way that traditional fiat markets do,
Right.
has crypto finally lost its status as an independent safe haven asset? Maybe that decentralized life raft isn't sailing solo anymore. Maybe it's just part of the traditional fleet getting tossed around by the exact same hurricane.
That's a really great point.
Definitely something to think about as you watch the charts this week.